It is our Wyopreps fan voted big school game of the week. It takes us to Class 2A, and it's the Bridger Valley rivalry. Top ranked Mountain View on the road at fourth ranked Lyman, or at fifth ranked Lyman, excuse me, as the rankings changed on Wednesday. Visiting with the head coach of the Mountain View Buffaloes, Brent Walk. And Brent, off to a good start this year. How would you characterize or describe the start that you've had with your ball club?
David, in terms of obviously in terms of wins losses, to be 4-0 right now, that's best case scenario. But it's kind of interesting. We've talked to our guys about it that we still don't even think we've scratched the surface in terms of playing to our potential. We've had a ton of mistakes in terms of like penalties. I've never had a team have so many penalties. So we've really went to work on that, and we've had a really good week. And obviously going to play Lyman, we're not gonna be able to beat ourselves and still win this game.
Talk about the Bridger Valley rivalry for folks that are not out, that are not down in the Bridger Valley and don't know this rivalry. How do you kind of characterize it?
It's really cool. They have, obviously, I think we have amazing kids here in Mountain View, and over in Lyman they have amazing kids, and it's kind of interesting. It's when I talk to our guys all the time, and I've been doing this for a long enough time that I know it's important to stress that we're playing a faceless opponent, and it doesn't matter who we play, we go out and try to play Mountain View football. But when this week comes around, it's kind of a special faceless opponent, and it's a cool rivalry. A lot of times the adults will get more caught up in it than the kids, which is a good thing. We just kind of keep grounded and just we're going out to play Mountain View football. We know we're going to play a very good team, and we're going to have to play good.
You talked about some of the mistakes, maybe more of that offensively. You guys are still playing well offensively, but defensively, what's been the key right now, Brent, for your squad, especially not allowing too much to anybody?
Yeah, we've done a good job with our kids are flying to the football. We're really working on tackling, but we're still making like silly mistakes on the defensive side of the ball too. And if we can get, I really believe if we can get everything locked in, which now, obviously now's the time that we need to do that. We need to start playing really good football, and I like our chances. I think we got a chance of being a really good team.
What do you look at when you see Coach Anderson's bunch down the road?
Same thing I think everybody sees. He does a great job with them. Their run game is obviously, a potent run game, and so their offensive line is good. Their quarterback runs the ball. I mean, he's just a tough kid. He had a great year last year. He's having another great year this year, but they got other kids that can run the ball too. So, obviously, I'd be lying if I tell you what the game plan wasn't to control their offense or control their run game and see if they can throw the ball. So they just do a great job. They got some really strong kids, and I know they're going to play hard.
What else does a rivalry like this kind of come down to, do you think?
I don't honestly, David, I don't think it's going to have anything to come down to the rivalry. I think it's going to have to come down to who executes the best, turnovers, taking care of the football, and then just doing what we do. So I don't think once it starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow, I don't think rivalry is going to have anything to do with it.
Gotcha. Well, best of luck on the road. It's always an entertaining game, and have fun against the Eagles tomorrow.
I appreciate it. We're really excited to have the opportunity to play. That's for sure.
It is our WyoPreps fan voted big school game of the week, and we continue the conversation as we've got number 1 Mountain View and number 5 Lyman. The rankings came out on Wednesday, kind of switched some things around, and visiting for the second straight week with Lyman head coach Dale Anderson. And Dale, I know last week did not go the way you and your squad wanted it to. A tough road trip to Lovell, but I think that just goes to show you how competitive and at any point in time in that 2A West, from top to bottom, games can be tough. And I know you and I talked about last week how tough it would be at Lovell.
I think that's true. 2A is wide open this year, and you follow scores even off the east side, and it's just every week it's like kind of like, oh, that one surprised me a little, or that one, so yeah, our kids went up. I thought our kids played hard, and we just had some things that didn't go our way, and Lovell's a really good football team. So that's just kind of how the year's gonna be. You got to be ready to go every week.
How do you describe the Bridger Valley rivalry, especially for us folks that are not from there or around it all the time? How do you describe it?
Well, it's interesting because you never escape it. The grocery stores in Mountain View, the movie theaters in Lyman, Pizza Huts in Mountain View, taco times in line. It's just kind of one of those things that everywhere you go, it's always there. And it makes it kind of fun, but it's just like you say, you can never escape the rivalry.
Talk about for your team. Learning from a little adversity off a loss, can that be beneficial for your squad about this time of year?
I hope so. That's what we talk about. You come out of those kind of games. Sometimes when you win, you don't analyze things that maybe you would otherwise analyze in a loss. And so, we took a look at some things, and hopefully the kids kind of evaluated themselves a little bit too. And as we go through this process of trying to move forward, we always talk to our kids about it's about this progression. You always want to just try to get a little better each week, and regardless of what happens with any game, we look at that aspect of it like, okay, what do we got to fix? What do we got to get better at? So
let's talk about Brent Walk squad. What do you see when you see Mountain View?
It's interesting. I think a lot of people focus on the offensive side of the ball, and they're explosive. The Platts kids, good quarterback, Erdley, Schultz, they're good up front. I mean, they can do a lot of things, but the big thing I take away is they've only given up 13 points all year. And that's, to me, that's the key in football is can you stop people from scoring? And then if you have a bad game on offense, maybe you can, still come away with a victory. But defensively, they're just solid all the way around. Up front, they're good. Their linebackers core is good. Their defensive backs are good. It's like there's no like, oh, we can pick on that or pick on this. They're solid all the way around.
All right. So what is a game like this? Rivalry, obviously kind of throw out the records type situation, but what does a game like this come down to for your squad in particular as you look at it?
It's the same thing as always for us. And people probably get tired of hearing me say this, but it's what happens up front. It's that trench war. And knowing that they're good up front, they're big, they're physical, how our kids up front can match that. That'll always be the key. Just the way we play offensively and defensively, we rely on that aspect of the game. And so that'll be, and I think the football purists will agree with that. Like, it's all about the trenches.
Yeah, all about pad level, right? You
Yeah.
gotta find that right pad level, right blocking angles, just pushing a guy a
Yeah.
little farther over, things like that. So, hey, Dale, it's always fun to talk about this rivalry. I appreciate your time again this week, and best of luck at home on Friday.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time also.